My name is Jacqueline Knight. I'm the Executive Director for the Children's Home of Wheeling, and I'm so excited to have you all here today as we announce the launch of our $10 million Orchard Park Hospital project. Orchard Park Hospital is a 30-bed psychiatric hospital, acute care for child and adolescents. This hospital will provide much-needed services for our area, creating more timely access, improving mental health services for those with serious mental health needs, reducing some of the burdens on our local resources, such as local ERs and outpatient resources. And we have created Orchard Park Hospital as a nonprofit subsidiary for the Children's Home of Wheeling in response to the needs from our local community. As an organization that has been committed to serving youth for over 150 years, we are keenly aware of just how needed these services really are. Since beginning this process, we've also heard from many individuals within the local healthcare, education, and therapeutic communities who have stressed the importance of this service for area residents. Currently, youth in need of these services have to wait days in ERs while they do not receive psychiatric care until they can have an opening in a facility hours away from their homes. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic has only amplified mental health concerns for youth and the need for crisis services such as these. We've purchased this property, which operated previously as the Robert C. Byrd Behavioral Health Center for Children and Adolescents, to use as our 30-bed facility. While this building is overall in good condition, renovations are necessary in order for us to operate successfully. As you may know, this building was originally part of the larger OVMC campus, and it did not require its own operational kitchen to serve its patients. We will be unable to operate Orchard Park Hospital without the ability to prepare and serve meals here in our facility. So we will be constructing a kitchen within the building. Other upgrades are required as well in order to comply with revised safety codes and current best practices, as well as some general maintenance things, as the building was vacant for a number of years. We are anticipating opening Orchard Park Hospital in May of 2023, when renovations are projected to be complete. Our team is also working on a number of operational items during this time to ensure that once open, our patients will receive the highest quality of care possible. We are relying on donors, sponsors, and grant support in order to provide this valuable service to our community, and truly appreciate all considerations of giving. I'm pleased to be joined in speaking today by other officials of Orchard Park Hospital who will talk a little bit more about the different aspects of our project. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Tanner Russell, President of the Children's Home of Wheeling Board of Directors, to talk a little more.
This is actually kind of nice. Usually I'm fighting with adjusting a microphone, so just hang on, this is okay. I appreciate it. And this is a very big day for all of us that are part of the Orchard Park Hospital and the Children's Home of Wheeling. And what I would like to do is just give a very brief, basic background on the history of the Children's Home of Wheeling, and then maybe a little bit about how we arrived where we're at today. So the Children's Home of Wheeling was established in 1870, and it was the city's first orphanage serving both male and female children. More than a century later, services have evolved. They provide residential treatment services to address children's other behavioral, physical, and scholastic needs while seeking permanent residence for our children. Since 2006, the nonprofit Children's Home of Wheeling has focused on the needs of male children ages 12 to 18. The home has served an average of 30 adolescent males each year in providing individual, group counseling services, education assistance, life skills training, coordination of medical care, and a little bit more. Care for some of West Virginia's children that need it most has always been priority number one for the Children's Home of Wheeling. Our staff dedicate their time and skills to the children that are residents at our facility, and I'm extremely proud of our entire staff, executive level through direct care. That care, they all care so much for our residents at the Children's Home, and it shows. There has been a gap, however, in care that some of our residents and local adolescents need most. The former Psychiatric Center did not close its doors a few years back because services were not needed or the job was done. It's actually quite the opposite. The closure greatly affected our residents at other adolescent care locations in the Valley, and our Valley's children in general. The children's home needed to do something. A bold decision was made to pursue the purchase of the former Psychiatric Center that we are in today and bring it back to life. The need was recognized, and as a board, it was decided that we would pursue this location and push to establish an entity that would once again provide some of the most important and needed care to the Upper Ohio Valley's most treasured asset, and that's our youth. As you can see today, we've taken many of the necessary steps on the path to achieving this goal. And you will find out today, we continue to move forward and expect to have these doors open, as mentioned, in the spring of this coming year. Today, you will hear a little bit about our facility, its staff, and the services that will be provided. I ask that as you take in the information, that you really try to put your hands around and grasp the undertaking that's involved here. Think about what it took to get here. You will hear a little bit about that, and what it will take to successfully provide services to our area youth long into the future. We need your support. Directly and indirectly, we need your support. As we work through our first year or two of operations, it is our intention to establish funds for a foundation that will ensure that there is support for the facility well into the future. No matter what the world throws, our direction, we want to be able to always provide these desperately needed services to our youth. And as you learn more about the children's home today and our new psychiatric hospital, please think about how you may be able to help. Large or small, any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. Directly or indirectly, spreading the word is going to be very important to us here at this hospital. It's important that we're asking you to do that for us. Our past has been one of service that will continue well into the future. Presently at the Children's Home, we continue to serve our youth and their well-being. With this new venture, we are working very hard to fill a large gap in our area and our future. From my perspective, the future is bright. The future is bold, and there are needs to be met. This facility will open, and it will begin to meet some of those most important needs that you can imagine facing Wheeling and our Upper Ohio Valley. Thank you so much for being here today. It's greatly appreciated. We look forward to telling you more about the Children's Home and our facility here today. Thank you.
Thanks, Tanner. I would now like to welcome Mr. John Antal, who is the Director of Hospital Services for Orchard Park Hospital, to talk to you a little bit more about the services that will be offered here.
Good morning, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to the launch announcement of Orchard Park Hospital. And this is something that we've been hoping would happen, and especially me, for the past 3 years when this place was closed down, that the services that this place provides our local children and adolescents and families is invaluable. And just to familiarize yourself with what we do offer, this is an inpatient child and adolescent psychiatric inpatient hospital. And what that means is that if kids are a harm to themselves, a harm to others, that they would go to the emergency room to become evaluated, and then upon evaluation, we would be able to accept them into our program here. Now, our program consists of 30 beds. We have 13 beds on the adolescent unit, 13 beds on the child unit, and 4 beds on the special care unit. And everything is mobility accessible. So if someone comes in with a wheelchair or anything like that, they could go everywhere from their bedrooms to the gymnasium to the outside area. And we offer services to them once they enter our program here. They have a nursing assessment, they have a a biopsychosocial assessment, they have an activity assessment, an educational assessment, and a psychiatric evaluation done by the attending psychiatrist. Average length of stay is about 8 days or so. And during those 8 days, they have pretty intense groups. We do clinical therapy groups, we do activity therapy groups. We also keep in touch with the schools. So we have a case manager who will be working with the child while they're here and staying in contact with the family. Because besides individual and group therapy, we also offer family therapy services, which is very important because we want to keep the family in the loop. We want to keep the family up to date as to what's going on with the child. And obviously, they'll be reuniting with their family unless there's abuse or something like that going on. So in case anything like that is going on, we notify the proper authorities, Child Protective Services, things of that nature. There's an investigation into the home, and if they're fit to go back, if the home is fit to go back to live in, then that's appropriate. But if not, then we would find other placement for them. So this is a critical service that we offer. While they're here, they'll be able to enjoy the indoor gymnasium where you all are right now. This is rubberized, recycled material, so if they fall down, they really won't hurt themselves. And we have an outside area that's secured so they can get fresh air and sunshine. Because one of the main things when we're working with kids with emotional issues and behavioral issues, there's also that physical side to kids and adolescents because they want to be able to be active, they want to be motivated, and we provide that for them here. And we want them to be as motivated as they can in therapy to resolve the issues. And on a daily basis, the doctor will meet with them, and if medications are needed to be prescribed, then the doctor will prescribe the medications. We have 24-hour nursing services, and mental health techs will be here around the clock to watch the kids. So that's a little bit about what we do here. We have a day room that the kids would spend most of their time in, where we would do individual and we would do individual groups with them there, but they would spend a lot of time in the day room where they get to know each other and they feel support from each other. And that's an important thing too, because when kids are coming here in crisis, they need to know that they're not the only ones. So when they feel that they're not the only ones going through depression, anxiety, psychotic breaks, anything like that, then they feel more comfortable. They don't feel so isolated, so alone. And part of them being here is socializing. So we want them to be able to socialize and be able to interact with other kids that are going through the same things as them, because it makes them feel more comfortable. And we also want to involve the community. And I know previously we had, so many different things going on here. Joanne Davis had come in here to read children's books to them that she had written, and she would sign them and give them the books. We had Gordy, the miniature horse from Oakley Park Stables, and equine therapy through Bethany College. And Susan Hogan had helped arrange artists to come in and donate different artwork that we securely attach to the different walls for them to enjoy. So we want to have as much community participation as possible, because this is a hospital that's going to serve the Ohio Valley, it's going to serve the tri-state area. So whether it's Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, the state of West Virginia, we want them to feel like they're a part of something here. And I know a lot of times isolation and bullying and different things that happen in school can provoke a lot of problematic situations with the kids. And a lot of them do not have the coping skills to work through what they need to be working through. So we want to work with them with coping skills. We want to be able to help them feel confident, feel competent, and if they're put on medications, to teach them about the medications. So it's very important to have nursing groups to help them about their diagnosis, their medications, individual therapy and family therapy to help them become more confident in their skills in dealing with their family members. Sometimes it's a lack of communication with what's going on at home. And then we definitely want to keep the school in the loop, because that is a big part of what they're going through. So that's pretty much what we offer here. That's what we want to continue to offer to the Ohio Valley and to families and children and adolescents in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. I had to make sure I didn't trip him up there. No workers' comp claims. Well, we are also very fortunate to be joined today by some of our community leaders who really care about the needs of local youth. So I would like to invite some of them to speak on, to say a few words to us today. And with that being said, I would like to welcome Miss Mary Jo Guidi from Senator Joe Manchin's office to say a few words.
Thank you very, very much. I am delighted to be back here again, and I say back because a few years ago I was invited to be here for the ribbon cutting when it opened as the Robert Byrd Hospital, and that was a wonderful thing, and the Wheeling community certainly appreciated a facility such as this, as did Senator Manchin and all others. And then fast forward a bit and times changed. And then it wasn't until a little over a year ago that my neighbor, Greg Markler, flagged me down at church and says, hey, I need to talk to you. We're gonna have to get the senator involved in something that we're really thinking about. And then that began this wonderful, wonderful adventure that I'm so delighted to see has really come to fruition. There is no doubt that we know that a facility such as this is desperately needed. And we're also very proud to see that it is coming back to the Wheeling area. So with that, I'd like to pass the microphone to my coworker, Roseanne Farrow. I've stepped into a different position for Senator Manchin, but I'm still completely available, same phone number. I've moved into a senior position, and Roseanne is now the regional coordinator. So it doesn't matter which one of us you reach out to, or both. We're always very happy to accommodate you. So here is Roseanne.
Thank you, Mary Jo, and thank you for inviting us both here today. As retired teachers, Mary Jo and I both know the crucial need for a facility of this type in this area. And I do want to say that my family is very proud of our cousin John Antle. And now a message from Senator Manchin. On behalf of the citizens of the Mountain State and as your United States Senator, it is my distinct honor to join you in celebrating the launch of the Orchard Park Child and Adolescent Psychiatric Hospital in Wheeling, West Virginia. At a challenging time when many medical facilities are experiencing supply and staff shortages, focusing on increasing healthcare resources is imperative to maintaining quality healthcare. The launch of the hospital we celebrate today will help adolescents and guardians have peace of mind that medical care will be timely and available close to home. Since it was established in 1870, the Children's Home of Wheeling has provided treatment and services, becoming a safe haven for many when and where they need it most. Over a century later, the reputation of excellence upheld by its administrators and staff remains admirable, and I am confident this hospital will continue to meet the demand for the behavioral, physical, and educational needs of residents in the region. I sincerely appreciate the efforts of the Children's Home of Wheeling, as well as the many administrators, staff, and supporters for making this launch a reality. Thank you for your commitment to providing exceptional care for the people of our home state and beyond. Keep up the terrific work because you are making our state an even better place to live, work, and raise a family. With warmest regards, Joe Manchin III, United States Senator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary Jo and Roseanne, and to Senator Manchin. I'd now like to introduce Erica Storch, West Virginia State Delegate, to say a few words.
Wow, this is an exciting day, and I am so happy, like Mary Jo, to be here again because we were present as well, or I was present. Third person, I guess. So I was present as well when we broke the ribbon, or when we cut the ribbon the first time. And my heart broke with our community, as did all of you, when this shelter, when this facility was shuttered. And that was a tragic loss to our community, as everyone in the room knows, and kudos to the Children's Home for embracing and setting that with determination, the idea to facilitate this, run with it, and to be here today. So I'm just honored to be present, to say congratulations to all of you for your hard work, and I look forward to providing any support I can as one of the co-sponsors for the Ryan Brown legislation that provides funding for services like this. If there's anything we need to do to tweak it, you've got my support, and we will get to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Next time I will make sure we have a wireless microphone, so I'm not tripping anybody up, I promise. I would now like to introduce Vice Mayor Chad Thalman to say a few words.
Well, on behalf of the City of Wheeling, I'd like to thank you for having me. I'd like to thank you for coming out today, but most importantly, I'd like to thank everybody who has worked so hard to get us to this point. We often say that our youth population are our greatest treasure and greatest asset. And as a city, we've invested in playgrounds and parks and recreation facilities, but this facility may be one of the largest investments made in the Ohio Valley to serve our youth population. So I'd like to thank everyone who has worked so hard to get us to this point, and I'd like to congratulate you. And I would also like to thank all the individuals who will be working here for years to come, not just to serve the youth of Wheeling, but to also serve the youth of the entire region. So thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone for saying a few words today and for your support of this project. We do really appreciate it. I would just like to thank you all again for coming. As I mentioned, it's so crucial that we have support for this project. As everyone has said, you know, our children really are our greatest asset, and we need to be able to take care of all of their needs, and that includes their mental health. So we really appreciate that. And with that said, I would like you all to invite you all to enjoy some refreshments, take a tour of the facility. Please see any member of our team with any questions that you might have or discussions that you would like to have. We are definitely open to all of that. If you have any questions or need anything, please stay for tours. And before we part to start that, I would like to welcome Father Richard Skaggs, who is a member of our Board of Directors at the Children's Home, to say a blessing for the facility.
Let us pray. O Healer of all, we come to you today to ask your blessing as we launch Orchard Park Hospital in its sacred service of healing and hope. We live in a world where children are often left with the scars of fear, anxiety, abuse, addiction, and hopelessness. And now, through the future workings of this facility, you will have commissioned us with the responsibility of perfecting and completing healing for these children. We give you thanks for the creative and forward thinking of the executors and staff and directors and board of directors of the Children's Home of Wheeling, and for the sponsors and other benefactors who through their generosity will soon make the bricks and steel and glass of this building a sanctuary of grace and peace and a tabernacle of hope and healing, lifting the spirits and strengthening the minds and bodies of those who seek help here. Finally, though we are not yet receiving patients and have not yet completely staffed this facility, we nevertheless pray that when that happens, Lord, you will be beside them every day, guiding and gently leading them, that you will be beneath them to carry them when times are difficult and hope seems shattered and strength flags, that you will be ahead of them, smoothing the rough places, protecting and guiding them along the way, that you will be behind them, soothing wounds, making whole, forgiving mistakes, and healing minds and bodies and spirits. All this we ask in God's holy name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Father Richard, and thank you all again. Please, like I said, enjoy some refreshments and feel free to take a tour of our facility.